All right, so on the last episode, it was basically high school, junior and senior year. If you haven't checked that one out yet, I suggest you go ahead and check that out before starting this one. But on this one, I'll be taking you through the college days, and that's junior college and the university days. So I found pretty good games. You can see on this one right here, I found a pretty good game that I had. I'll be showing you the highlights of that one, and then I'll take you to the university days, which would be this right here at USAO. So I found a bunch of clips. I got some online newspaper articles, just kind of showing stats, talking a little bit about me. So I'll make sure to put those in there so y'all can see I wasn't no scrub or anything like that. But with all that being said, let's jump into this episode. All right, so in the last episode, I told you I went from 5'1.5" to 5'10", 5'11". Well, I got to Mountain View. I was 6'1.5", 6'2" with my shoes on. So I was 6'2" because you play with your shoes on. So that's what we're gonna go by. You can see some clips right here, me dunking in warm-ups, and excuse the name, but I had to take that clip from one of my old highlights that I used to send out. So excuse that, but nothing has changed. Still getting buckets as usual. And this game right here was against Eastfield, which was, I guess it was a rival with us at Mountain View. Every year that we played them, it seemed like it was a rival game. They beat us, we beat them. It kind of went that way for both years that I was there. But the one game I do remember against Eastfield, they were ranked number 1 in the nation. Not in Texas, in the nation. They came to our place. It was the first conference game, and I dropped 39 on them. And we took them down that day. I believe this game right here, as you can see, I'm doing pretty well, in my opinion. But everybody thinks different, but in this game right here, I believe they were ranked number 3 in the nation, and we took them down on their home court, which was kind of special. I caught fire, and it feels good. It does happen a lot, not to brag. It feels good to catch fire, and it feels like everything you throw up, as you see my boy DA celebrating over there, it feels like everything that you throw up is just going in. So that was a good feeling to have. But I had a pretty good 2 years at Mountain View. So those 2 years, was able to open up some scouts and college coaches' eyes, and that led to the ultimate day as far as JUCO goes, and that's signing that full athletic scholarship, playing at that next level. As you can see how happy I was right there. All right, let's pause right there for a second, and let's talk about junior college, because JUCO is a dog-eat-dog world, man. You got to fight for everything you get, and what a lot of people don't know, you're not just going against other freshmen and sophomores, that just graduated high school, whatever. You're going to get guys that's transferring from D1, D2, NAIA, D3, whatever. So you see a lot of competition and talent in there, which is why I suggest to a lot of my kids that I coach, if you're not getting those whatever looks, whether it's D1, D2, D3, NAIA, whatever, I suggest that you go to JUCO first. Class is easier. Competition is definitely there no matter what level of JUCO you play on from D1 to D3, but that's a whole nother video. Maybe I'll make that one later. We'll see how it go. All right, so the college that I ended up signing to was USAO, short for University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma, home of the Drovers. Now, that is a Division I NAIA school, so we competed, it was a pretty good conference that we was in, the Student Athletic Conference, very competitive. You had guys transferring from Wake Forest, Kansas, Northern Arizona. You had a few guys that I played up against that transferred from some big-time D1 and big-time D2 schools. All right, so we're going to start with junior season here at USAO, and you see the title. It says we dropped the season over to Langston, but see what I got highlighted. Thomas Peters had game high 23 points. I'm not showcasing that I was the leading scorer. You see the rest of it, but I just want to take a quick second to mention how fun it was to play somebody like Langston. As you'll see in the highlights coming up, boy, they hold that front row of bleachers down there, just trash talking the entire game, and the entire game from start to finish. As you can see, it was a good game. Lost by a few, we should have won, but that type of environment was fun to play in, and they didn't know that, but I feed off the trash talk. So all that talking trash they was doing, loved it, because every time I make a shot, I look over there at them. They still talking no matter what, which was kind of funny. Somebody talking trash, I'll make a shot, and they still saying you won't make the next one or anything like that. But that environment right there, that was a good environment. It was type of like a a Duke Carolina type of environment right there, talking trash, back and forth. Both teams are going at it. It was a pretty good game. And next up, you see a bunch of online newspaper articles. Just only reason I'm showing you this is just like I said earlier, just letting you know that I wasn't no scrub. But all these articles are from junior year, and that was a fun season. If you read some of the names on there, you see my boy Ant, Fred, AD. That was a fun year. I wish Ant and Fred would have stayed around. It definitely would have been a different senior season, especially with the new additions that we had coming in for my senior year. But speaking of senior year, your boy put on some muscle. You know, I was feeling it then. Confidence was at an all-time high that year. Even with the broken finger, I broke my finger the very first game senior year, but that didn't stop me. I kept on going, still had a pretty good year. Now this game right here, I know you're not seeing the highlights, but that game in particular against Cameron was personal to me because they were recruiting me out of junior college, but they did let me know up front that I was their number 2 option and not their number 1 option. They said if the number 1 option, chose to sign somewhere else, then they would definitely sign me up there. But it didn't happen, and honestly, I think USAO pulled the trigger before they did. So I felt more comfortable at USAO too, especially after talking with my assistant coach and everything on the visit. But it felt good to get that win, knowing that they chose to recruit somebody else, so it was personal to me to show them what they missed out on. All right, from here, I'm just gonna hush and show you these amazing highlights. Hope you enjoy.